So for those of you who don't know Alvaro, hi Alvaro, he's already here in the room. He is a behavior economics leader at BBVA here in Spain. He is also doing a lot of other things, but he's the CEO of the Behavior Economics Observatory here in Madrid. He's a professor of 3 different universities in Spain, including a university where he's teaching the bachelor in behavioral sciences. So his main focus of research is studying the importance of human cognition and human behavior in business in general, and also like more in particular in banking, so the BBVA. So today he'll be speaking about some really interesting things about the future of behavioral finance. And in addition, these applications together with artificial intelligence. So he will explain how current technologies advances in artificial intelligence will shape the future of behavioral science, allowing companies to give a step forward into applying behavioral economic principles with machine algorithms. So thank you, Alvaro, and very welcome.
No, thank you, Eduarda. I think that was a hype of an introduction. I hope to meet the expectations, but I will try to share my point of view. I'm going to share my screen. And thank you. First of all, thank you for having me here. Thank you for the invitation to all of you, Eduarda, and all the team from the Behavioral Science Club in IE. So that's right. I'm going to try to talk a little bit about how we understand the behavioral science application in finance and its future. Okay, so to assess that that future, first I would like to try to define what we understand by future at BBVA, and this graph kind of summarize what are we aiming to, right? This shows our clients' digital transactions, that it's up by 121% since 2019. And not only it's increasing, but it's also accelerating. As you can see, this is probably due to new technologies, the acceptance of new channels, but of course, also due to the COVID situation. And as you can see, from our overall sales, 69% are digital. So kind of an issue, kind of important there for the financial institution. So if we take this as a reality, the digitalization, I mean, if we understand that our clients get more and more, and our relationship with them is more and more on the digital channels, on our web pages, on our apps, the awesome app that we have at BBVA, but also well, all the finance industry or the fintechs are fighting that war on digitalization. We should also talk about the opportunities and challenges that come with that digitalization reality, right? I would say that we can all think of what are the opportunities, but to focus on the challenges, I would say that commoditization is one of the biggest ones, right? Not only from digitalization, but this has been an issue for the banking industry for a long period now, right? I would say you can all imagine all banks have the same products and the same channels. We all sell checking accounts, we all sell credit cards, we all sell mortgages, and so on, so on. And of course, we all get or tend to relate with our clients in the same way on this environment of digitalization. So how can we differentiate from our competition? How can we, BBVA, be the choice for our clients or our prospects? Well, we can do that mainly in 2 ways. One is pricing, of course, but that's a no-go. I mean, that's probably not a good strategy, and actually with the interest rate that we are having in Western countries, it's a no-go. It's something that it's got no margin. So the only thing that we have left is a strategy. And for BBVA, we are focusing on advice, right? I'm going through from the top to the bottom. We have digitalization as a reality. We want to assess that with advice. So we want to become an organization who actually can help our clients to make better financial decisions. We, as our purpose says, we want to bring the age of opportunities to everyone. But to say somehow, we just want the trust from our clients to help them on their financial health, right? We want to help them to make better financial decisions for their lives, for their businesses. So how we do that? This is where behavioral science come to the rescue, or to have a key role. I mean, if we even dream to be advisors of our clients, I would say the first step is to understand them and to understand how people make decisions. And as Hugh was saying, not only how our clients are making decisions, it's how we are making decisions as organizations. So behavioral science is, I don't know, that's what I love, and probably we are all at the same point here, is that behavioral science is so generic. We are talking about people, we are talking about making decisions, and that's everywhere. I mean, we are all defining or designing web pages, we are all producing new products, we are all making context for each other. So behavioral science can be applied almost everywhere, as Hugh was explaining before. So behavioral science has got an important role on all this matter. But here again, such a huge range of opportunities of application, it's also a challenge. So how can we scale the small teams that we have in organizations trying to apply behavioral science? How can we even try to be in all channels, in all products, in all processes, external or internal? So that's where, as Eduardo was saying, is where BBVA, we're trying to, at least a little part, we're trying to use technology to scale up the way that we help BBVA or other departments at BBVA to scale the use of behavioral science, and that's B.E.L.A. And that's one, the case that I want to introduce you. That's the acronym for behavioral economics learning algorithm. That is just a fancy way of saying that we are using behavioral science or behavioral economics with artificial intelligence, right? But prior to B.E.L.A, I want to introduce you to this badass guy. This is Rocco. This is a representation of basiliscus, and I don't know if you know about the idea of this mythological creature that is a basiliscus. Well, you can imagine it's a really bad guy. If you look into his eyes, you just burn. If you're intelligent enough to look to him through a mirror, you will get petrified. But this is just an experiment. We love, as you know, probably all of you from behavioral science, we love the scientific method, and we love to play games and experiments. And you can think of this as a psychological experiment that I'm going to throw to you. So it goes like this. It's a fact that in the future, there will be this artificial intelligence that will have almost unlimited access to resources, and it will actually rule the world, right? It will take over mankind, and it will take over us. And on that process, it will, even though it was thought and it was at the very beginning meant to do good for mankind, at some point it will realize that he could not do better because he was not born earlier, right? So the sooner the better. And in that craziness, he would understand that if he was not able or is not able to do better or to good to the mankind, it's because he was not helped to born before. And here is where it comes or becomes interesting. And now that I'm telling you this, as long as this creature will start punishing people just because maybe they didn't help on its conception or build, you have to decide if you would help building it. And furthermore, as long as it's got unlimited access to resources, it will punish descendants of the people who help or actually didn't help. So you now need to decide if you're going to help on its construction or not, knowing that in the future, if you decide not to help, your descendants could be punished just because of that decision. And you need to decide. And this is just a joke, and this is just what I was saying. It was a game just to say that this will not, I mean, I deeply believe that this will not happen, but we will have much more nicer niece or friends of Rocco, which are B.E.L.A, that are systems that will help us to become more productive and just assist us. So let me introduce you to B.E.L.A. I have a video in order to do that.
Hello, I'm B.E.L.A, a behavioral economics intelligence, or for the geeks, a self-learning AI fueled by behavioral economics and machine learning that permits BBVA help clients to make better financial decisions. Do you ever have the sensation you are making a decision that is not in your best interest? Cognitive factors impact perceptions and judgments, preventing humans from reaching their goals. What's more, they shape decision-making, including financial ones. Cognitive factors can be classified in 3 groups, depending on their nature. Preferences. You humans don't really know what you prefer, and in many cases, you build preferences on the go while deciding. Convictions or beliefs. You are wrong about how you decide and judge, normally being too optimistic. And shortcuts that are meant to avoid cognitive efforts. Behavioral economics helps understand biases and heuristics and predicts how you humans make decisions. It's a crucial piece of the new marketing and sales. As a behavioral economics intelligence, I allow you to test an enormous amount of hypotheses and increase marketing campaigns' personalization on a massive and global scale through cognitive algorithms. With this approach, BBVA is taking behavioral economics to a whole new level. Because biases and heuristics impact humans differently, and each and every one of you is different, the same message would have different influence not only on different people, but also on the same person at different moments. I'm a multi-dimensional model of behavioral factors by product, channel, client segment, and timing, able to discover by myself the best way to talk to clients. I'm a self-learning system that constantly improves based on real campaign data and supervised by BBVA experts. Just as industrial designers use AI algorithms to automatically generate successful variations of a chair, my creators apply through me generative design to produce and test hundreds of hypotheses. I use natural language processing techniques to create automatically the right communications. I do this following a system of rules and a parsing system. I'm not a black box, but an intelligence that explains the data, the weights, and the factors used for its predictions, and allows you to carry out tests for the different alternatives in all the digital channels. I will teach you what are the best factors to be used, depending, for example, on the specific product or channel of a communication. My algorithm constantly feeds the data before actually sending the campaigns to the market, helping clients make the best financial decisions, and BBVA become the trusted emotional bank that understands and respects each person.
Awesome, right?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry about that. Well, yes, yes, it's just a concept video. We are not there yet, but we have big part of it already built, right? So what are we aiming to? Well, as the video was saying, we're trying to push our model beyond. We want to use cognitive factors. We want to use the behavioral science discipline a step further, right? So we want to, I don't know, to say how we want to move from a merely classificatory model with few factors, that it's something that you have on the left, from preferences, beliefs, and circuits. This is just a classification we came up with, to something more similar to the right, that is a representation of B.E.L.A. And it's actually not that complex. It's just, you can imagine that we are maybe selling an investment fund to young women on Monday morning on the summertime. And we know that this person is receiving that email or ad or whatever on her mobile. Then we want B.E.L.A. to tell us which is the best cognitive factor, or to say properly, which is the best linguistic representation of that cognitive factor to be used to sell that product, right? And not only that, not only we want B.E.L.A. to tell us maybe we should be using a social influence or I don't know, a gold grading or whatever. We want B.E.L.A. to actually write variations of the copy for us. I mean, B.E.L.A. is capable right now of giving us different versions of copies for an ad, so we can throw them out to the real market, right? Not only that, I'm going to try to go a little bit faster. As always, Eduardo, I'm sorry, I'm running out of time. But not only that, we want to generate new cluster, new ways of generating segmentations for our campaign. So we want to throw all kind of dimensions to our machine, so we can find out which variables are more important in order to understand that context, and what, I don't know, what dimensions are more important than others. And to say more graphically, let's imagine what we normally do. It's like we maybe have the database of our clients. We take first person in the database. We see that it's a male. It's aged between 65 and 69. He's got children, travels and lives in London. And then the second person on that database, we look into the characteristic of that person, and we find out, you read, are exactly the same. But if you go a little bit further, maybe you can find out that persona uno is Ozzy Osbourne and persona dos is Prince Charles. And our hypothesis, my hypothesis, when I came up with the idea of B.E.L.A. is that even though we need to offer them the same product, maybe an investment fund, we should not talk them in the same way. And maybe not at the same moment in time. Maybe we should talk to Ozzy on a Friday night and Prince Charles on a Tuesday evening, right? And that's why we are aiming with B.E.L.A. It's the personalization. Again, to put it more graphically, what we are doing is going from giving the same copy for all devices. This is a real case from Peru. Fondos mutuos is just investment funds. And on the left, you will see that for all devices, we have the same copy. It's a call to action to open your investment fund. And what B.E.L.A. is helping us to do is just maybe having 3 versions or 5 versions of a copy for the tablet, where we may be using the LOSA version. In first place, maybe for the mobile, we are using a Risca version. Well, this is in Spanish, but the LOSA version, of course, you can imagine that this is not lose money or don't lose interest rates for your money. And the risk aversion is like you can go through your simulator and see or have everything under control. So we are leveraging or trying to put down risk aversion. And in the social norms, we are talking about how many clients at BBVA are already clients on our investment funds. With this kind of approach, we are getting great results. This is just a number. We have many, as you can imagine. This is about big data and about measuring. But on the click-through rates, for example, on many of or a couple of our campaigns done through B.E.L.A, we are getting uplifts on click-through rates over 200%. Also on the conversion rates, we're getting great results. And that would be it. This approach gives us a lot of benefits. We are more relevant. We not only are getting better numbers, but we are not disrupting or bothering people who may not be interested in our products. So we are more cost effective. Not only that as long as we are using B.E.L.A as a platform that supports the whole process, we are sending out campaigns with a time reduction. And of course, we are spreading the power of behavioral economics to many teams that maybe if we would do it in a more traditional approach, one by one or team against team, it would be much harder to do it. And that would be it. That was what I wanted to share, and I would be willing to answer questions if you have.
Okay, amazing. Thank you, Salvador. Those were really fun. And I love B.E.L.A. I obviously that I've seen it before because he has shown it to us in class at IE. But it is really interesting to see how this program brings a behavior science to a step forward, a whole new level. And with the help of machine algorithms, you can really make a difference, and also make process more automatized, help a lot, with the decisions. But it is really interesting to see how we're advancing in this field. So I don't know if anyone has some questions. I think we have some time for it. If anyone wants to say it in the chat or turn on the mics.
Maybe the question that they asked before, Alvaro can respond it. It was, would you, I don't know if I'm saying the name, but it was Gosh. He said what do you think it will take for behavioral science to become a core part of any financial firm and take behavioral insight into account more? It's kind of, I don't know if
It's a challenge. It's a great question. We are on it, at least at BBVA. We've been building the department since 3.5 years already. We had, I don't know how to say it in English, but we had good traction from the very beginning. We have the management on board. We have the financials. We had the means. We had the people. And even with that, it's not been easy. Although we are really lucky at BBVA that we have all this environment or positive environment for us. So I would say it would take time. But as Hugh was saying before, it's great that you guys are on our side to say somehow, and you're trying to promote the use of this discipline, that it's so powerful. I would only say that part of our job, internal job at BBVA is having an internal all kind of line of efforts to communicate internally what behavioral science is, how powerful it is, how much impact can it have in the P&L, and so on, and human resources, in risk, in cybersecurity. There are so many fields where we can be useful that it's a challenge actually to focus on one. So I don't have an answer. I can only say that it will happen, but I don't know when.
I think you responded to his question. Jim, you asked, do you want to go forward?
Yeah, if you don't mind. Hi, it's because I work with the Central Bank of Malaysia, which is a developing country, and financial literacy is a big agenda for us. And we're trying to reach out to as many folks as possible, including the rural areas. So I'm wondering, with the fascinating product that you have with B.E.L.A, like, is there room to apply it in developing countries, you know, so that we can reach out to more people, even in rural areas, in a targeted way?
Sure. I mean, there are many examples, not only B.E.L.A, but there are many organizations. For example, I was reading this morning in the US, I know it's not a developing country, but a paper on SMS sent for students to enroll university after the summer break. And they were aiming for actually low income families, people, which are the ones that have a greater quick or the greater, they are the less one, the ones that actually don't go to college after the summer break, right? So they have this huge program of sending out SMS for these people to tell them that they have financial help from the government, etc., etc. And they were finding out that something similar to what I was saying with B.E.L.A. It's like one message doesn't fit all. So they were trying to personalize what were they sending out for these low-income people to actually go into college. And of course, there is room. B.E.L.A, it's something that we're developing within BBVA. It's not open, but there are many ways of leveraging personalization. On what you were saying, sorry, I'm talk too much.
Yeah, I think you sort of answered the question. So if a country wants to adopt this, like, do they come and talk to BBVA or?
Yes, they can. But I mean, we would love to talk and exchange, but it probably would be hard for us to give you service. As let's talk. Let's talk. I mean, I'm open to have a one-on-one talk with you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, I have one question. Alvaro, thank you very much for your presentation. It was really nice, really interesting seeing how you use machine learning or AI to improve the applications of behavioral sciences. But I was thinking if you have had any experience the other way around, that would be using behavioral science techniques to improve traditional data science machine learning projects.
Actually, not yet, but we are just opening a line with the Universidad of Valencia to actually, they are building for many years already all kind of machine learning algorithms, and we want to partnership in order to try to do what you just say. It's like, all right, we know that the machine learning algorithms sometimes are overfit and are not so accurate going from data to insights. And we are going to start or hopefully we're going to start a collaboration in the near future.
Nice, thank you.
Thank you.
There is one more question in the chat by again, the one that said the question before. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm so sorry. I don't know if you want to go ahead or I read your question. But okay, I guess I read it. So he says, what are the ethical issues you may be facing in designing B.E.L.A, which learns people behavior and designing solution based only on what it sees?
Okay, it's a good question, but it's not that complex as it may seem, and there are no ethical, on my point of view, ethical issues. As long as we are just making, we're just doing what we are just doing. I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but this is underneath something that we already do, that it's sending out communications or sending out banners when you are browsing the net or internet. So we are just doing it better or reduced cost. So we are not doing like black magic. We are not. I mean, if you don't want to buy a mortgage, even if I use B.E.L.A, I won't convince you to buy a mortgage. Even if I were that I'm not the best behavioral scientist in the world, I cannot convince you to do something that you don't want to do. So what we are just doing is like doing a hyper vitaminated marketing, if you want to see it that way. We are just being smart. We are just using the resources that we have in our interest and also in the interest of our clients. As I was saying before, we want to not bother people that are not interested in some product or services. So with B.E.L.A, we are trying not to bother them or not to send them an email or a banner if we already or we think that we can learn that they are not interested.